So I'm back again. I'm on a roll today just because I'm waiting, just wasting a bit of time till 3. But I just wanted to do another quick one of I have a dream. I have a dream. My dream would be, and maybe a lot of people's dreams, this is how I see it anyway, if I ran the world. All nations, countries, whatever, around the globe would be their own country, as, you know, like for example, Britain would be Britain, or the UK would be the UK, America's America, Iran's Iran, Denmark's Denmark, you know, everywhere is, you know, how it used to be years back. And every country has their own traditions, beliefs, laws. So, you know, no one would be fighting, that's the way it is. So, you know, if you wanted to go and visit a country, we're all friendly, but we're all within our own, you know, little country, little realms, or whatever you want to call it. And when you go on holiday, you choose a holiday to go on because you think, you know, I'd really like to go there. Sometimes it's because of the sun, but, you know, a bit warmer than England. But you go somewhere because, you know, you want to go and see some traditions of that country, or, you know, the culture of that country. You want to meet the people, you know, some people just want to go on holiday to sunbathe, but you know what I mean? You want to go and see different traditions and cultures and stuff that you don't have in your country, because it's nice to go and see different things. That's what's good about differences in things. And if you want to go and live in another country, that's fine as well. But you take something to that country and you live by the laws of that country. But you may still have your beliefs of, you know, if they have religions there, you might not necessarily believe in that, but, you know, behind closed doors you can whatever. But you're going by the law of that land, and you interact with people, and you can join in the traditions and the cultures of that country as well, because that's the country that you've chose to go and live in, because you must like that country to go and live in for a reason. You know, and it'd be nice to just choose like that, like, oh, I feel like going to blah 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 because I really like the way, you know, that this certain tradition they have, or whatever it is, and you move there, but you're under that law. You know, you can't have two laws, you're under that law. If you don't like that law in that land, or their traditions or their culture, then you go to one that has your way of thinking. And that just means that every country keeps their culture and their traditions the way they are, and they should be, and they should be promoted instead of ripped down, because that's all I can see around a lot is some are getting ripped down, and they've been trying to make us get rid of them or forget about them because it's not multicultural. You know, we've all got to join together, but it's not been working multicultural because people aren't, not everybody, but people aren't mingling properly and stuff. They're keeping things separate. So maybe that won't work properly. You know, the world is multicultural because we have different traditions and different cultures, and that's good because we can go there to another country, go and visit, go and live, or go on holiday there to see all that, and then come back to your own country. And like I said, if you want to go and move to another country, then that's good, but you've got to be abiding by their law, you know, and so on. And if you don't like it, then you have to go to somewhere that, you know, that has your way of thinking. But that's how it should be. It shouldn't be certain groups are taking over and they want the people of that country and that country and that country to get rid of their traditions that have been going on for centuries and their beliefs, and tearing it apart and only putting theirs on it. Because it's not your country, and that's not just for one country, that's countries around the globe. Every country should have their own, you know, for centuries, if that's their country, and they've had traditions and, you know, things that they do there in their culture, you know, that are morally right as well, because we've all done a lot of things in the past that might have been in traditions, and that we don't need to keep. Things have to drop away a little bit as we evolve, because some of them aren't morally right. you know, we've got to lose some of it. You can't keep something from the past. The good bits we keep, or we might have to change because we're evolving. We're evolving, so, you know, if we've evolved, you can't always keep something from the past because it doesn't work for today. But that's how it should be. And everybody in every country, nation should have, you know, money, and they should be able to work, and it should be for helping the people, not suppressing the people and putting the people down, so they're living in poverty. It should be equal everywhere. And that's how it should be. Not a new world order where it's just, you know, globalists trying to put their idea of it, keeping people in debt and, you know, like I was talking about before. Traditions should be kept in countries with little updates if it's, you know, a bit immoral sort of thing. And that's good, because if traditions went in every country and it's all just one tradition of something, whatever that would be, how boring would that be? It'd just be boring. People like to express themselves. That means if you travelled, everywhere would just be the same. If you were travelling, everywhere would just be the same. You wouldn't be seeing any different traditions or cultures because everywhere would be the same. We don't want it to be the same. They were pushing for multicultural, you know, living and that all the time. That's what they're doing because they knew it wouldn't work properly. It's not been working properly. With some people, yes, they do. We do mingle, but some are not. And it's not working. So that's where it should be like, you know, we've all got our places, you know, we've all got our countries, nations, whatever, that we live in. And if you like the idea of one, then you go there. If you don't, then stay where you are. If you can't live under somebody else's law and you don't like their traditions, why are you there? And also, if some countries that we all know have been made up or taken over by somebody else's, and these people have been pushed out and feel they can't go back there because they can't practice their traditions or religion or whatever because they're scared, and which I can see happening behind the scenes now that's happening, trying to get them countries back, then those people that may have moved out to other countries because they feel they couldn't stay in their own country could move back there and live a normal life like, you know, everybody else should be around the world in freedom, you know, not scared to speak out. You can practice your religion, that whatever it is that you can practice, you know what I'm talking about. Some people might go back to their own countries. I think some people do want to go back to their home countries because, you know, they have love for their own countries, but it's been destroyed with what's been going on over time, and they've had to move away because they're in fear of their lives, or it's just they just can't live like that because it's under suppression and stuff. So I say it's not a new world order. The elites want that, but Trump wants, it's a new world for everybody in every nation. We're saying we all should be the same. We all should be the same in that sense. There should be, you know, everyone says, like I said, oh, it's left or far left, or it's right or it's far right. It's not. We're talking about civil rights, and it's civil rights for everyone. It's rights for the people, not for the fat cats who sit at the top scrounging money off everybody, taxing this and taxing that and doing this and doing that, and the things he put out, spend. It's civil rights for people to live, to be able to live, and that means to be able to feed themselves, to be able to wash themselves. It's them little things, putting a roof over your head, being able to eat, being able to drink clean water, all this stuff that's always gone on over time. When they've said there's starving kids in Africa and this, that and the other, which yes there is, it's because it's been man-made to be that way. And there shouldn't be kids around the world starving. There shouldn't be people getting killed for different beliefs and all this. It shouldn't be like that. It's purposely been done like that, whether you believe it or not. Not in this day and age. Not in this day and age. All that money that went out to like feed the world that we used to do years and years back when I was a little girl, where does that money actually go? Because I don't believe all of that money goes to that cause. It goes in someone's pocket. So I don't know if you get what I mean, but every country, it's like our country, Britain, it should be allowed to have its British values. It should be allowed to have its religion. It is a Christian nation, whether you like it or not. It should be having its old traditions. Someone put up the other day about folk dancing, country dancing, around the maypole. I used to do that at school as a little girl. They bring it down now. Oh, you can't do that because it's racist. Oh, you can't do that because it's not multicultural. This is Britain. That's what we used to do. We've been told in our streets not to walk around with the flag, the Union Jack, or the St George's flag. I'm sorry, this is Britain. We'll walk around with our flags. It's Britain. Certain countries we can go to. We wouldn't be able to put our flag up there, but we wouldn't want to because it's not our country. This is Britain. You should be able to walk around with your flag. The tradition should be promoted more. They need to come back. The religion of this country needs to come back if people are into that. The traditions need to come back in the schools because the schools need to start putting traditions out that we used to do at school, singing, the songs we used to sing, dancing around the maypole, all them traditions that we had, even having street parties and all that, even though I'm not all for the Queen and all that, but that all needs to come back because this is our country. And so forth in other countries, what they've had in other countries, traditions, because theirs been taken down in other countries. You can see it go around the globe. They need to all come back. It's their country. And like I said, if you like that country, then go and visit that country. If you want to live there, go and live there. But you've got to let them traditions be, and you've got to live under that law. So it's mad, but I think that's a dream that is going to happen, gradually. It's not going to be like a fast thing, but we're told, oh, we can't do this and we can't do that, and you shouldn't do this tradition or that because it's not nice. It upsets other people from other countries. Well, it's tough basically. Don't come and live in this country if you don't like it. It's tiptoeing around people. It's not. It's just getting the agenda in again. Trying to get rid of our traditions, not just our traditions, but in different countries, getting rid of this, getting rid of that, bringing this in and bringing that in to slowly to get rid of all them traditions and, things that we once used to do years ago and we were proud of. We're made to feel like you can't be proud to be white, you can't be proud to be British because of things that have gone on in the past and half of it's twisted anyway. Anything we used to do, you can't be proud of because you looked as a racist. It's not a racist. The people who are saying that, you're racist, you're trying to put your agenda over countries around the world and taking their traditions away and taking their cultures away. It's not right. And that's why people are getting mad. It is not right. You can't go and tell another country what to do. But I see a change, like I said, there's the U-turn in the EU. That's why people are getting mad. You can't tell people it's wrong to not fly a flag of their country. It's against the law to fly a flag of your country. Well, it's our country, so why not? It's just stupid. Oh, we can fly the flags. We can fly the flags when it's the wedding, royal wedding, can't we? We can all have the Union Jacks out in the street then. Who gets arrested then? Who gets arrested then when we've got all the flags out for the Queen and the wedding that we didn't get invited to, and it's millions and millions of taxpayers' money, and they got rid of the homeless on the street to move them off the streets while the wedding was happening. And apparently allowed the stuff back after when the wedding was over. So I've never been interested in the royals and never watched the weddings. Weren't invited to it. You watch it on telly, but you're paying for the wedding. Taxpayers pay for all that wedding, the dress, the security and all that. I don't know if you get what I'm talking about, but all the world and all the nations, the countries and that should all have equal rights, and it's civil rights. It's for the people. It's not for the elites above, the greedy things that have millions and trillions of money. And they're just playing war games with people because they do play war games with people's lives. God, imagine what you could do with loads of money to help people with medicine and technology, but technology for the good, to help the world and grow food and different things. How much joy you'd get out of that, There's always going to be evil in the world, even if it goes and it gradually creeps back in again, and that's why we have to have a revolution probably every so many years. But I'm just rambling really. But yeah, bye.